Bianca Studios presents Black Love Baltimore. Welcome. I am your host, Bianca, where love, empowerment, and real stories reside inside of Bianca Studios, celebrating Black love in the Charm City. I'm just a gal who loves love, and I'm here to showcase beautiful Black love stories. Allow me to introduce to you our next couple, season 1, but this is episode 2. Tonight, we have Mr. Lafayette Promise Goins and Miss Jessica J. Revive. They are a true power couple, and here is their Black love story.
This is Lafayette Promise Goings.
And I am Jessica J. Revive Howard. And this is our Black Love Story.
Black love is so beautiful. It's so magical. It's unlike any other kind of love.
Innovator. I am an author, I am a hairstylist, I'm a self-publisher, and I am a serial entrepreneur.
And I am a natural professional bodybuilder.
Mr. Lafayette, how did this beautiful Black love story begin?
Well, our Black love story started off almost 30 years ago. 1997 is when we first connected with one another. And we met at a club called Trilogies. If those from Baltimore know what Trilogies was back in the day, we met way back then. We were high school sweethearts. We didn't go to the same high school, but we are high school sweethearts. So our paths connected then, and it just was love at first sight. Essentially, she was my very first girlfriend. Had some girlfriends in elementary school, middle school, but when I finally got to high school, I had met the woman of my dreams at that particular point, and didn't know that we would reconnect after many years. But our relationship was tight until we just separated back in high school for no really big reason. We just separated. That's what our lives did, and then we reconnected a little bit over a year ago, and I'll let my lovely queen pick up where the story is.
June 3rd, we reconnected, and 5 months later, he proposed. And we will be getting married on June the 13th.
2026.
2026.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is possible to find love again.
That's right.
Good.
Jessica, what was it about Lafayette that made you say, I do, after just 5 months of dating?
I knew I was ready because I spent so much time alone. I prepared myself for him. Probably 6 months prior to us reconnected, my mother passed away. And I spent a season just trying to just be by myself. I didn't want to date anymore. I did that. It wasn't working. I kept meeting the same guys in different bodies. And I wanted to understand what it meant to really be by myself and just be patient. And by the time him and I reconnected, I didn't really want to date, but then I just felt something about him just talking to him. I'm like, he's a nice guy. The whole time he's talking, I'm like looking at him like, and then I kept looking at him like, he look like he needs something like me. Okay. but serious, like I knew that it was something special about him. And I gave him my book. I wrote something sweet in there, gave it to him. He called me a few days later and was like, was it a day later?
A day later.
It was a day later. Because he really told me that.
It's like 17 hours later.
Yeah, he really acted like he wasn't going to call me, like he was focused and all this stuff. But, yeah, he called me the day after and I was like, yes. And I don't think we never been away from each
Yeah.
other since that day.
Yeah.
Like, never. Yeah.
Wow, that was it.
And I
Signed,
knew he
sealed,
was my
delivered.
promise, and that's why I named him Promise.
That's right.
Because I knew that God sent, and I felt like that my mother sent him. Because he was everything. Oh, let me just say this. I wrote down 6 months prior to that on a list of all the things that I wanted in a man. So I wouldn't, be so open just to, dating just anyone.
Yeah.
And I wrote down to how they spoke, how they stand, I was very specific with everything. I wanted, him to be a great father. If he had kids, his credit had to be straight. It was just everything. I was like, I'm writing down every little thing. And, as we began to date and I got to know a little bit more about him, I'm like, this is really the person that I wrote on a piece of paper. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm dead serious. Like,
wow.
I'm like, I got to give him a chance because he's good to me. He's respectful. He's a great father. He's good to my son. My son likes him. My son really wasn't fooling nobody, and I started watching how my son was like, relaxing a little bit more around him. So I was allowed to open myself up a lot more with him. And, before you know it, it just didn't seem like no years was, missed.
Right.
It felt like we just started right where we left over 30 years ago. So it just didn't feel like it was new. Even though it wasn't, I felt like we are adults now.
Yeah.
We don't know. People change as they get older.
Absolutely.
Like, he's better than who I knew him to be. So yeah, I was like, yeah, that's nice.
God put all them
That's
seasons
nice.
in there.
Yeah, that's nice.
He put all those seasons in there over the years, got them together the same way you said, God prepared you, God prepared him for you, just like he prepared you for him. So this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Lafayette, what was your impression of Jessica when you met her 30 years ago? And what was your impression of her 30 years later?
Wow. I was a bit more aggressive when I was younger. I was the seek and destroy kind of a young buck, Baltimore County. Although for Forest Park, but I'm from Woodlawn. I claim Woodlawn all the way through. But I was a bit more like aggressive when it was coming down to just pursuing women.
Okay.
And I liked her standoff quality. She was a bit shy. She wouldn't talk much, and I thought that would be a healthy balance. So I was really, really attracted to her not being aggressive in terms of coming at me and trying to book me. And girls didn't even book dudes back in the day. It's different now. So I was, our flow just worked. And then I wouldn't say that she was on the other foot, but it was almost like the roles were reversed when we reconnected 30 years later, because I had been married for 12 years, was divorced, I had 2 kids, and I was not looking at all. So I was being used to being hit on and just turning it down left and right. So when we reconnected on a baseball field on June 3rd of 2025, where our sons were on the same baseball team, when I saw her, I was like, I see her, but that's Jessica. But I'm like, I'm not really, really interested right now. I'm not pursuing anything. So she was a little bit more aggressive towards me, and I needed that at that particular time because I'm like, I'm good. I'm really, really good. And it took me a minute to even, now it was a minute in terms of a conversation. Like I knew that I did the work on myself. I knew that I had went to the altar and prayed. I knew that I was looking. I knew that I was ready. I knew that my children were ready. So when God presented whoever she would be to me, I knew that I'd be ready for her. So she is truly an answered prayer. 30 years in the making, an answered prayer. So the woman that she was initially is the woman that I needed at that time. But being 43, I guess at that time, she was the woman that I needed at that time. So when we aligned and we connected on that June 3rd of last year, it was literally it was perfect, and it was like we picked up where we left off. And but it took from her giving me the book with the number in it, and it took that night until the morning, and then I said, who am I to deny what the Lord can do? That's literally what I said. Like, I'm not going to deny what's being presented. Because I went and I asked for it, right? I literally went and I said, I'm ready. Now, little did I know what happened like 8 days later, but it happened. So I'm like, no, it's not supposed to be this quick. But it did. So,
the asking thou shalt receive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And even if it comes quick. And the fact that it wasn't delayed, that's where I was like, but I knew that because I asked, I received, and I'm just going to push forward. So that's the difference between 97 and I guess 2025.
And he read my book. He read my book.
Yeah,
and you read the book. Absolutely. Right
away.
Yeah. Because because like when I was in a relationship, when I was married, when I was dating, I'm one, and that's it. I'm not looking at nothing. I'm not searching nothing, and I'm committed. Good, bad, or indifferent. So I couldn't follow. I'm not on social media, and was only on there for a hot second when I was selling cars. And so I used to, we were friends on Facebook, but that was it. And then I got off Facebook in like 3 months. So I didn't know all of the things that I didn't know she was a habitual individual. I didn't know she had a salon. Didn't know that she could rap. I knew she had a son, but I didn't know anything about her. So when we reconnected, I had to flip the pages on that book. Because in the front page, it was like, I hope you get a glimpse of the woman that I am now. So I'm like, shoot, this is sexy to me. She write? She can probably read too. That's sexy. She can read a little bit. So I was like, I gotta figure out who she is. And I'm an avid reader. I love reading, and the fact that she wrote a book, come on now, like that's like super attractive to me. So check. Another thing on the list, check. So yeah, that's how I do.
Putting God first in your pursuit of a healthy relationship is key and essential to a successful relationship.
One of the things you said is that you prayed and you asked God for this and that he presented it to you, but he presented it to you at a time when you weren't, it was just 8 days later.
Right.
So you were kind of like, wait, this is too quick. Yeah. But I love that you were able to receive it and not just push it away. Because oftentimes we'll feel like we aren't ready. Like, wait a minute, I know I asked, but I thought I was going to have more time to prepare.
Right.
And we'll miss the blessing that God has for you. So give everybody a little bit of advice.
Listen, I tell anybody that I come in contact with, when you ask for something, prepare for it so you can be ready to receive it.
Yeah, it's like you in the ocean, right? You somehow fell off a ship, and God sends you a life raft. Like I don't like life rafts, and then all of a sudden God sends you an inner tube. Like I don't want no inner tube. And then all of a sudden a tugboat comes by. Like, here, get on a tugboat with me. Like, no, I'm waiting for a ship, and then you drown. So it's like you prayed to get rescued, but you denied the inner tube, the life raft, and now you denied the tugboat because you're trying to make it exactly what you want, and it might not be that at that particular time. So if you ask, you're gonna receive something. That's why you got to be specific.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you ask and you're specific, if you know where you're going, then chances are you're gonna get there. So you can't just be, like nonchalant about your request. You got to be very, very specific.
Yeah, when you said you wrote down everything and that he was absolutely everything that you wrote in your book that you wanted in a man, I'm sure you carried those conversations with God as well as yourself, because writing it down was just like manifesting it, However, you still have to have that conversation with God. And so when you saw that he had absolutely everything, it seemed like there was no hesitation for you to receive it. And that's probably why she was so aggressive. Because she was like, wait a minute.
I never believed anything as far as relationship that soon, because I knew what I did. I knew I did the work. I knew I wrote down things. I didn't ask God I wasn't begging God for a man. I just asked God that when he sent him, this is what my heart's desire. And I wanted to write it down to make sure nothing was missed. But yeah.
Let's talk about communication, the foundation of every strong Black love story.
One of the things that people struggle with in relationships is communication. Tell me how communication was for you in the beginning of this relationship and how it is for you now. Has it changed? Has it been challenging? How have you overcome some of the obstacles if it was challenging?
Yeah, so it has. It's been the same, but it's changed at the same time. So I was not a texter. So besides her, I don't
tell me what you told me.
So I don't text. So I had hours of operation when I text, right? Because of what I had been through with previously. So I had to put a person in a box, and you would only get a response from me between certain hours in the morning and certain hours in the evening, because I was built up. I was strong. I had been to the gym. I had read. I did my devotional. So I knew I was strong enough to read a text message or reply to a text message. But then I had to go and build myself up again, and then I could interact with this person again. So I had cut all communication off for text messages. When I met my lovely Pearl here, I had to change that. So, and she asked it. And when she asked, I changed it. So it was more phone communication, but now we still talk all day long, every day, because now it's through text messaging. And that communication is extremely valuable because we stay connected. So when I'm at work, I do have my phone right next to me, but I'm working and I'm texting. I'm working and I'm texting. And it just keeps us connected. And there's like this this time lapse that if we go outside of that limit, like, all right, the text is coming. And it keeps us connected. It keeps us glued together. And it's valuable to our relationship.
I think we've had great communication. I've communicated a little bit better than I ever did with him than the past. I'm sharing more than I normally do.
Good way.
And I noticed that within myself. I'm very private, certainly even down to finances. I'm like, I'm not telling him that. I'm not doing this. I'm not. And I remember when after we finished counseling, we had to go through that. That was part of it. And I'd be like, okay, I got this going on, and it was like a relief when I said it. It felt good to share, all of me, and that's a form of communication that I thought I could never push through. The daily communication is good. I'm good with, I'm a communicator, but when you get too far in my business, I'm like, we not doing it. But it feels so good that it's no secrets. It's all communication. If he asks a question, I can give it. I know he's being honest with me. He knows I have no filter. I'm going to tell him, exactly how I'm feeling, what's going on. So I love this part about us because this is something that I'm sharing with him that I've never shared with anyone. And we good,
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question was going to be, how is this communication in this relationship different from others? But you just answered that pretty much because you never communicated with anyone, and you answered it in the beginning because you put a person in a box.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Was like, but Jessica tore that box up, threw it out the window. It no longer exists.
Right.
So literally, that's another solidification and from God, like let me let you know this is really real, because had Jessica not been your person, or Lafayette not been your person, you would have never discussed finances, because we're women and that's just not what we do, and you would have never tore that box up, because that was your safe place, and it's good that you were able to even create that for yourself. And even though you did it for a person, but you did it really for yourself. So she allowed you to know that you didn't even need that.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful.
Yeah. Absolutely.
How do you maintain a healthy relationship having different professions that require a lot of your time and energy?
So you guys have two completely different professions. However, you are still both entrepreneurs. So how does that affect your relationship? Is it in a good way? Is it in a bad way? That you guys are like completely opposite in what you guys are doing and still entrepreneurs? Because just being an entrepreneur, period. And you're a serial. Okay. Habitual. I'm sorry. Habitual. She went past that. Okay.
Habitual.
Habitual.
Creates and expand and create.
Yes.
Serial do multiple things.
Yeah.
I am a creator.
Yes. Okay. I love that. Yeah. So how do you guys balance that with maintaining a relationship?
So I'm in full support of Jessica's career.
Okay.
And that was part of my issue in the past, where I wanted to do my thing, I wanted to pursue my opportunities, and I wanted for her to support me. But I've learned through trial and error that I do 100% of my role in a relationship, and she does 100% of hers. So my support of her and my daily activities allow for her to be this habitual innovator. And she's sitting on a gold mine, and I've seen opportunity in her, and I want to support her. And my career, although it isn't professional bodybuilding, but I do have a 9-to-5, but I display my passion in many, many other ways. And one of those passions is to support my lady here, because she's worth supporting. and it's vice versa. So it's not one side, you know, that I'm following behind her and she's following behind me. We raising tide raises all ships. So we're just raising this tide together. So my support of her career is vital and critical to our overall relationship. I feel like I got lost in that question, but
no,
Yeah.
that was a perfect answer.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a real answer, so that was really the perfect answer.
And when I host events and, you know, with my books, he's there. He sets up. You know, we work together. You know, he's there. You know, if I need some stuff done in the salon, he's there. So it's no longer mine.
Yeah.
It's ours.
Yeah.
So it's not really about what I'm doing or what he's doing. It's if he has a show, you know, I'm like, what's the date? I gotta be there.
Yeah.
You know, I have to put that on my calendar to show up for him like he shows up for me.
Absolutely.
And it also it's an inherent level of trust when you communicate like that.
Yeah.
So if we're around each other all the time and we text all the time, then I know that I can trust her, right? And trust is everything in my world. So I just did this personality assessment, the DISC assessment, and I'm on the side where I'm cautious, I'm thoughtful, you know. But if I trust you, I trust you. Like inherently, I give people trust. But if you break my trust, that's it. I will probably never, ever trust again. And people in my past that have broken that trust, I really don't trust them, and probably never will. So with our level of communication, it helps for me to trust and believe that what God had assigned on me on that day continues to be true every single day. And it just strengthens our relationship every single day. So we don't just communicate through text, but it's through eye contact. Sometimes it's not through saying anything. Sometimes it's in written messages. Sometimes she communicates to me in my belly through cooking. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's different forms of communication that keeps our love affair, our Black love story, aligned in the direction that we're going. And people might be like, "Yo, y'all phony, y'all not doing it right, and y'all need to be yelling this." That's just not us.
Yeah.
We're just not those people. So
a toxic situation at all.
Yeah.
How do you protect your relationship from negativity?
You set those boundaries. Woo.
You can launch on that one, babe.
Wow. You got to set boundaries in your relationship. And it really means that you don't have to tell. I had to get it in a stage of not sharing so much. Because sometimes when you're dating as females, we share with our friends, our family, you know, our homegirls. We're like, you know, guess what he did? Guess what he didn't do? That's what we did. And so I think my relationships with people, they're used to me overly sharing. And I no longer do that. And it's something that I did not plan to do. It just happened because I realized I was only sharing things that were negative, things that were bad. And I don't have anything negative or bad to share. So now no one knows what's going on with me. And now they're creating, now a narrative is being created as if I have lost my identity with him. That's what I was told. By family members. Yeah, I'm going to say it. By family members. Which I haven't, but what I've realized today, like through because I thought about this a lot this past week. Losing your identity is not bad. It's not bad. He's made me better. He's allowed me to open my eyes in situations, not based upon nothing he has said, but just being an example and being my peace, being my protector, being my comforter, being a person I can just share, you know. And I realized that setting those boundaries with people with not saying too much protects your relationship. You can't say too much.
Yeah.
It protects our relationship between one another, as well as my relationships with others. Because if they don't know anything, they have nothing to talk about, nothing to make up. I mean, people can say stuff all day, but I realized I shared too much that was bad, and I don't have anything to share. And that's weird to people right now.
Yeah.
So I've heard that you changed.
Yeah.
You know, when God blesses us to have our person, and it doesn't always even have to be a significant other, but God will send you someone when you ask him and you ask him for your person. So your person was your significant other. It will allow you to heal in ways that will change you. And that is a beautiful thing. And people that are unhealed and people that are used to the unhealed version of you are upset that you are doing something that doesn't include them. Because wait a minute. How am I not a part of this? And because this is the healed version of you, and this is the peaceful version of you, the happy version of you, it is something that people aren't used to, because people love, and another thing I've realized is people love negativity. It be the closest ones to us, because the people that are the most miserable will be the closest to us. You genuinely have a beautiful spirit. You genuinely have a beautiful smile. Your presence just in the room without you speaking is speaking. And that's not, everybody doesn't have that, you know, or I'm not going to say everybody doesn't have that, but everybody hasn't healed in ways that is able to be illuminated in rooms, you know? And so when you have all of this happiness happen, like right now, it's no way anybody could be looking at what I'm looking at right now and say, oh my gosh, she is hiding something. Absolutely not. Because you're glowing. Like, so everybody isn't going to be excited about that, because that means that now that you're glowing, who am I going to be miserable with? Who am I going to be able to be sad with? Who am I going to be able to be like, girl, you know this mother, you know them conversations. Now, who am I going to be able to do that with? Because Jessica is way too nice, way too happy. She even talking softer. It's irritating me, because my spirit needs the negative Jessica, because spirits are huge. I just want to say, when it comes to like motivating us to do bad things, if you are allowing that negative spirit around you. So God has removed those negative spirits from around you just by placing another man that was sent by God with you, because with him came all of those healing spirits. It came all of those positive spirits, and all of those spirits are like, wait a minute, now we a team, because you already had some with you, but now y'all teamed up. So now other spirits aren't welcome in your space, and they upset about that, because they need this spirit to move away from you. So when somebody say you changed, I absolutely have changed. I changed because God has blessed me to be in a better space, and it's heartbreaking. And whew, it gave me chills when you said heartbreaking, because it's heartbreaking and it's earth shattering as it is to lose people that have been with you along this journey of life. In this moment when you are the happiest, because you are as much as easy as it was for you to be miserable with them, now you looking forward to being happy with them. Like, girl, let's celebrate together, because you see me at my worst. You seen me when I was going through it. You seen all the tears I shed. You seen when I was broken down and couldn't get out of bed. So girl, celebrate with me, or family member, celebrate with me, or home, celebrate with me. But instead, that negative spirit is still on their back. That evil spirit is still on their back, and that spirit is saying, you can't go celebrate with her, because you still need me. I'm still with you. So I just did a show on spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare is real.
Absolutely.
It's so unfortunate, but it's real, you know. So you both pray and you pray. And as long as you are praying and you continue to keep prayer, it is going to continue to keep those people away from you. So you don't even have to be wondering like, well, why is it just not going to work? Because God ain't going to allow that to happen. He has already cleansed your space. He done created for you a bubble of peace and prosperity. So
boundaries. So boundary is the word. So it's literally a circle. It's a great book called Boundaries. So they got boundaries, just regular boundaries for kids, boundaries for parents. It's a great series called Boundaries. And that's a plug even, a book called Boundaries. But boundary, literally, somebody's going to pull you into their pain, or you're going to pull them into your peace. So boundary in itself is a requirement of one or the other. You can't stay neutral in that relationship. So we've decided to pull people into our peace. Because that's what people want. They want for us to go launch into their pain, and we just won't. We refuse, and that is the boundary that we've set up for ourselves. And our peace is more important than their pain. And we will never. We've been through too much. We've been through too much pain. We've sacrificed for too many years, and we will not be tricked again, ever again, to be pulled into somebody's pain. So people are either creating a palace of peace or a prison of defeat, period. So we have our palace of peace, and it is peaceful over here. And we can get with it if we need to, but it's peaceful. And we know what pain is, and we will not go back to that that pain, and nobody can take us there. We've experienced too much good, and we know so. It's almost like when you first get money, you be like, oh, I don't want we broke no more. Mm-hmm. Like so, and then all of a sudden you mess up with some money one month, like yo, let me get back to this side where I'm making this paper, and you realize like, all right, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to keep making money. Same thing with your peace.
You got too much to lose.
Yeah. Oh.
They have too much to lose. That's why I post the positive things on Facebook. I told God that if I don't post, I don't want to do all the stuff that people do on there. It has to be positive. Even if I get 0 likes, 1 like, I have to be positive. I have to come from a peaceful place because somebody sees you, you know? And that's what I use the platform for.
I bet you right now, if we flipped the script and we started talking about them people that did something to us, we would get so many more views on this. If we literally, like, whoever watched it right now, if we started dropping their names, we will probably get whatever K, right? Or X, let me say X, right? We'd get X amount. We'd get 3X, 5X, 10X if we decided to flip it.
Drama.
People love drama.
And that definitely will. Oh my gosh, let me tell them they said this. Let me share it to this person.
Right.
Let me share it to that.
Yeah.
But because it's so peaceful and it's so positive, they like, oh yeah, I'm not telling nobody about this.
Yeah.
Because I don't have, like you said, there's nothing to tell. There's nothing to tell.
The integrity that I carry with myself.
Mm-hmm.
I would never do what people do to me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It would hurt them more than what I hurt. How they made me hurt. It would literally kill them. Yeah. If I did what they did, I can handle it. I'm built for it.
Yeah,
I'm built for it because it happens. I have a moment, but I get up and keep moving. They'll have a moment and stay there. So I realize it's not even worth it. It's okay.
Yeah, they want to smother this. It's just like if you got a fireplace in your house and you put firewood, logs, and stuff like that, and you try to smother it. You can't really just smother it, right? With just water, because you're still gonna have them embers in there. But you got to literally smother it. But if you don't smother it right, it can ignite all again. And that's the negativity. So people just look for that one little amber that's still in the middle, or that charcoal in the middle, and they want that negative. But they're trying to smother the positive stuff. They really don't want us to make it to the altar. They don't. Like constantly, every single day. They don't want us to make it.
We don't talk to nobody, see nobody. But I'm like, huh? But you know what I always say? The reward is always better than the pain. So that's why I go like this. Because God gonna bless me for it all. Like, He blessed me with Him. This was my reward when my mother passed. And I grieved. I literally thought I was going to die. That I was going to cry myself and I wasn't gonna wake up. And I was ready for it. I was like, I can't feel that. I literally can't stop crying. And if I'm making myself sick, Lord, just take me out. And I was okay with that. You know, but then, you know, after a few months, you know, I got myself together and I was like, okay, those tears and that heartache was so worth it to the woman that I am today. It was so worth it. And I don't want to go through it again, but I understand it better. I understand. You got to trust the process.
And understand that your pain has purpose.
Yeah.
What is the funniest habit that Lafayette has?
Habit. He walks around. Is that a habit? He walks around with his little book all day long. Every day. If he doesn't have his book, he's freaking out. Okay? Yeah. And in this book, he budgets every day. Like, he didn't just budget yesterday, the day before that. Nothing's changed. He just walks around with his book. So, habit, yeah, but it's a great habit. But it's funny, Keith, because I'm like, leave the book in the house. You don't have to carry the book.
Wait, when y'all leave out? Even when y'all leave out?
Oh, yes. He probably got it with him right now.
It's in the car.
It's in the car.
Get.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's serious. That's a big habit.
Yeah, so that's one thing that comes to my mind. Like, I was so impressed when I first noticed it. I'm like,
you got to be organized, right? You know.
But he keeps me organized with this habit. But, yeah, that book. Like,
girl, when you said them finances, he said, I'm going to get an extra book.
And it's not a book that's already created to what he want to put in there. He, you know, draws the lines like with a ruler or something. It's like straight lines.
Get out.
He put the lines down, the lines across, dated. You can just buy a book like that. I actually created an expense book for him because he inspired me to do that, and I published it.
Wow.
He don't want to use the book I created. He still wants to draw his lines.
Yeah.
And it's a budgeting tracker. And it says
that's definitely a habit
promise
then. Yeah.
Tracking, budgeting tracking book.
Yeah.
Literally, it is and it's on Amazon.
It's my everything book. It's my everything
He
book.
wants
If you
to
got
do
if you got your hands on that book, you know a whole lot about me. But yeah, it's definitely got the calendar. It's got my budget. It's got room for notes. And you know, I created it with some staples and a little wiring around it. But yeah, it's my book.
That's deep.
Which one of you are more likely to start an argument?
Well, we don't really argue, but it'll probably be myself. I'll hold myself accountable because he's not argumentative. He doesn't even raise his voice. I naturally talk loud.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll be an argument between us.
Yeah.
If it's a broad stroke of an argument, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I don't think we're gonna argue. I really don't.
Yeah.
And if you did have a broad stroke of an argument, who would be the one? I know the answer to this. Can't even answer this because who would be the one to be the voice of reason?
Oh yeah. I think I would be.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I already did.
Yeah.
And he's so humble about it. He was like, I think I would be.
Like it's you know, I think there are major offenses that are unforgivable, right? And then there are minor infractions. Like, all right, come on, let's let that pass. And you know, you can always ask for forgiveness, say I'm sorry, and that's why you communicate so often. And one thing that we do is definitely communicate. Mm-hmm. So it will be resolved. And you know, emotions might flare eventually, but it's like, hey, look, I'm sorry. And I think that's one thing that we were healed from, mm-hmm. because we would have to get the last say, and that's just that's just our personalities. Mm-hmm. It's like I got to be the last one to say something, mm-hmm. and yeah, I think it'll be resolved.
I don't say nothing. I just be like,
yeah, I think it'll be resolved.
Fast.
Yeah, it's like it's all good. Like, yeah.
Who is the voice of reason in this relationship?
Here's the reason why I could be the voice of reason. Because I finally have understood, or I finally understand might be the best way to say it, what the true feminine essence is. I understand it. Mm-hmm. And prior to, I understand and I don't understand what the feminine essence is. And that's a reality for a masculine man. Because me as a masculine man, I'm like, why is she acting like that? And I'm trying to understand why she's acting like that. Mm-hmm. Like, why is she upset now and then not upset now? And then she's happy then and then she's just a little bit happy. So the fact that I understand that she goes through these ebbs and flows every single day, multiple times a day. And one thing that makes her happy at 7 a.m. is something totally different at 7:31 a.m. I fully understand that. So my level of maturity came to understand that I understand that the feminine is raw. It's raw. It's ever changing. It's not consistent. And because I understand that, I'm willing to accept the fact that she's just who she is, and I can't change her. And that brings a level of peace. So that's why I'm like, voice of reason. Like, I'm with you in your pain. I'm with you in your joy. I'm with you in your sadness. I'm with you no matter what. And I just have to ride the wave. And if I can ride the wave of that emotion right now and not ask her, what's wrong with you? That's one of the worst things that a man could do. One of the worst things that anybody could, like, what's wrong with you? What's going on? Just ride it. And I've decided to ride the wave that she's on emotionally. And I'm not trying to fix. And that was an issue. I used to try to fix. Like, all right, I see a problem, I fix it. Right? And I'm still a fixer in life in general. But I realize that I can't fix her. She's not broke. There's nothing wrong with her. She doesn't need to change. My job is to understand what makes her feel loved. And in that moment, me questioning her or me trying to fix it might not make her feel loved. Now, there might be times that I need to come in and play rescue. But that might make her feel loved in that moment. And that's the whole goal. How can I make Jessica feel loved? And for me, that is seen, heard, and appreciated. And that's 24/7, 365, churning in the background. It never ends. And it's a full-time job that never goes to sleep. And because I recognize that, yes, I can resolve. Yes, I can resolve it. Because the problem that she would be fussing about is normally not the problem that she's fussing about. That's the reality of it. So if I don't clean the garage out, and then I don't mop the floor, and I don't clean the dishes, and all of a sudden she's fussing about the screen door being open. It's not about the screen door being open. It's about the garage. It's about everything else. So what she's arguing about is not what she's arguing about. So I had to understand that, and that's why I can be the voice of reason.
Like men that are watching this, that are probably like, it's no way he's telling the truth. That is really the truth about us women.
It is.
You really have learned. Like, I'm like, wow.
Like, that's why I be like,
yeah.
So,
and it's good that you know that.
So a woman is an ocean, and an ocean has a shoreline around it, but at every point in that ocean is water going on it. So women are going in all these directions at once. A man is only going from A to B. He can't go to D. He is like A to B, A to B. And if we got to go to C, we like, damn, like where we got to go to next? We got to go to C. All right, let me strategize, let me plan. Where the ultra feminine, and let me be specific, the ultra feminine is going in to vast ocean. And we as men, we try to make her a pool. We try to restrain her. We try to restrict her. When if we let her be the ocean that she is, then just let her flow, let her be free, let her be feminine. And that is something that most men don't want, especially in a masculine and a feminine relationship. It's like we want to stop her. So we like, she's acting like a bitch. Well, we're like, she's not. She's just being feminine. And we can't contain that. We let her be wild, let her be free, let her just be rambunctious and just ride that wave. Because we are the ships inside of this vast ocean that she is. And that's my level of understanding with it.
How has this relationship made you better as a person individually?
For me, I know I've changed. I feel different with him. I'm calmer. I'm more patient. I give people more grace because of him. I just feel different. I just don't even feel like I'm the same person I've ever been in my past, relationships. And I know because I'm better, I know it's a good thing, because of him. I know that. And I know because, sometimes you are who you're around. Mm-hmm. And energy, pass on energy. It just happens. And if you're around positive energy, if you're around someone that comes with peace and that is calm and someone that doesn't argue or doesn't raise their voice, you would look crazy if you walked around screaming and hollering and he's not, so I know it's changed me because I respond to situations differently.
Yeah, I think that I, prior to reconnecting, I was alone and lonely. And it was tough for me because I was always around people. I was around my family, and I was, in a relationship for a long time. I had kids, but I was alone, a single parent, and like I was lonely at the same time. But then I learned to like, all right, I'm alone, but I'm not lonely, and that's when I really learned like what the difference was, and then how it's changed in this relationship. I'm no longer alone, and I'm not lonely, and it really really makes my heart smile. And when we text, I'm like, it's like it's the smooches, it's lovey-dovey, and we swooning over one another, and it's just like it is truly it feels that level of connection that makes me feel good every day.
What is something unique or funny about Jessica that no one else knows?
She shares a lot of herself with the world.
I think that,
so maybe I don't know. That might be hard.
She laughs at herself. Like she makes herself laugh, and that might be something that people already know. But like she'll literally make herself laugh by talking either about a situation or about herself or about something that's going on, and it's quirky, but it's funny because it is genuinely funny. So when she talks about it, she's laughing at herself, but then she's also laughing because it's funny. And it's a cute little
I make jokes all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Yep.
What is something unique or funny about Lafayette that no one else knows?
Funny. He's so serious all the time.
I was thinking, like, I can't picture him telling jokes, but
I don't even know if it's funny, but he's not like what people think. Like how, looking at him, he looks real serious. Let me tell you something. We went out the other night. I had this whole time. He wants to stay outside. Whereas though I be ready to go. It's like the opposite.
Oh, that's really the opposite. Yeah.
Like we are the opposite. I'm different than him. He's different than me. We're like night and day as far as personality. But when it's time to have a great time, he's a planner. He wants to plan, okay, what we gonna eat, what we're gonna wear, how we gonna, like, date nights, he's like, we're gonna wear this, what you wanna wear, what do you feel? He asked me, what you wanna do, what you wanna eat, what you got. I mean, I never had nobody plan anything out. He just plans down to how he should get his shape up, what type of haircut I want him to have. But like, that is cute, but it's good, but it's funny because nobody, I don't know anyone that allows that person to involve themselves with them like that, It's cute.
Yeah.
What has been the best and the hardest part about this journey to the altar?
Okay, so you guys have 31 days to the wedding day. Hence this beautiful tiara she has on her head. Okay, with the veil. Love it. So, what has been the best part about this journey and what has been the hardest part about this journey to your wedding day?
You want to say the best part and I can say the hard part?
Yeah. So, I think the best part has been that we get a chance to do it together. Mm-hmm. We genuinely do. So this is our day. This is our moment. Mm-hmm. And although everything is happening at a fast pace, we're doing everything together. Mm-hmm. So just literally that we're doing it together is just something. It's almost unbelievable. Like we say it to one another often, like, I can't believe it's you. Yeah. Like how did that happen? Like how we go 30 years and be around one another? Like our paths should have crossed somehow, some way. Because we both like kind of in the same neighborhoods and driving the same ways, doing the same things. So how did our paths cross? So like the fact that we're doing it together is something that is absolutely incredible. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and Jessica?
So the hardest part, okay, no one told me what happens when you're planning a wedding and when you get married. And when I say that, I mean transition happens. You start to see people's true colors.
Absolutely.
You start to see who's really for you and who's not. And that's the part a lot of my business friends kept from me because they didn't want to take away from my moment, but they all, shared with me recently, like, yeah, that's just what happens. I didn't think it would happen with me because of who I am and my personality, because I don't have that type of drama in my life, but it's been drama. It's been different. The closest people to me gave me the hardest time. Mm-hmm. Personalities are different. When you have multiple bridesmaids and multiple groomsmen, multiple people in your wedding, the bigger your wedding, the more drama comes. Mm-hmm. And had I planned differently, I would not have had the amount of people that I have in my wedding. Yeah. I would have just, shortened it up. So it's been a lot of difficulty, a lot of confusion, just trying to get everyone on one accord. And you just start to see things that you just never thought you could see. And planning my wedding has been easy with him and I, but it's been hard with facing the truth of who really cares about me and who really is for me. And that's when my feelings got hurt, because I really started to see people for who they really are. And that's an awful feeling. Because you do think that people are going to be happy for you when you reach this moment. When everybody was there for me when I had the drama, when I had the guys that cheated on me and all that stuff. Everybody was there then and happy and rooting. Now I have someone that brings me peace and goes beyond for me. It's like, oh wow, they're living in a fairy tale world, or and I don't feel like the people close to me have really been for me. At least the majority. I'm not gonna say nobody, but the majority of the people that are closest to me have not been supportive.
But those are the people that would have probably pulled up with you to go and fight somebody.
Yes.
Or bust a
yes.
window.
Yes.
Those are those people,
yes.
So That is the real unfortunate, heartbreaking part. But again, when you pray and you ask God for things, you got to be prepared for what He is going to give you, because He's giving you something, but He's also going to take away what is not necessary. What was blocking your blessing, what was keeping you from having your peace, what was keeping you from having a good man like that. You wouldn't even be able to receive him properly if you still had all that negativity in your ears. So I definitely understand, you know.
Yeah.
The change many people noticed in this king and queen was necessary. It has allowed them to elevate and to glow together.
Okay, this question is for both of you, but I'm going to ask it separately. So, and I'll ask you first, Lafayette.
Yeah.
You have a black woman that is phenomenal next to you, and black women are often portrayed as hard to deal with, hard to talk to, hard to tolerate. We have heard that we have attitude problems and things of that sort.
So the question is it difficult loving a black woman?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. Um, you have to be very, very deliberate about what you want. So there needs to be some kind of finale to what you want in this relationship. So we were talking the other day. There are many, many guys that are just shacking up with her. He hasn't asked her to be his girlfriend. He hasn't proposed. He hasn't said, "Will you marry me?" Definitely hasn't said, "I do." You right? So there's this level of it's not clear. There's no clarity to it. So oftentimes it is a bit difficult because she's been through a lot and she's seen a lot. And she does become frustrated with the black man that's out here. So it is difficult. But I think you have to be willing to understand, similar to what I said earlier, you have to be willing to understand what those ebbs and flows are. And understand that you can't fix her. You can't change her. She is who she is. And it's not that you're following behind her or letting her just get away with murder, but it's also understanding of who she is and understand who you are. And if I'm strong in myself, then I'm going to show up strong to the relationship. And then we both make each other strong. So I don't lessen myself so that way she can grow. No, I show up in strength and confidence, with peace, with clarity, and with a defined goal of what I want from this relationship. And she can follow behind it. She can follow behind me, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be I'm behind her coattail following. No, I know where we're going. This is where we're going, and let's get there together. And that's a reality that I exist in, that we exist in, and we're okay with that. So it is difficult if you're not willing to commit, and that's what I think I can share with that right there.
Okay, Jessica, let's talk about the strength it takes to love a black man.
Okay, Jessica, we know the man is the strength of the household. And although we may often, as black women, have a lot on our shoulders, they come in with a lot on their back. Hence, that picture that is above your head, it shows the black man holding up the family while the woman is praying.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and he has a job to take care of the family and to be the protector for the family. So, how is it for you, this beautiful black woman, to be able to continue to uplift this black man and to deal with what he brings home from having to be out here in the world being a black man, to have to deal with that, and then to come home and have to be a strong black man for you and his family?
I've learned that no man wants to come home to the madness that they just left, whether it's from the workplace, from wherever they came in from. So my goal is to bring peace in my home. As women, we do a lot. I don't want him to feed off my energy, if I'm having a bad day. Wow. So we do well with this, because he always tell me, like, you could have reacted a certain way, and I'm like, I could have 20 different things going on, and I'm upset about this, I'm maybe grieving or anything. I never bring that on him, ever. I've mastered that, and I purposely, am mindful of it. And I think about, even if I am having a moment, because I know all that he has to handle for us as a family, and the responsibilities that he has as a man in our home. So I want to make it easy for him to go to work every day to, deal with, whatever he needs to deal with, and, all the stuff that comes with, his personal, things that he has going on. I want to be that comfort for him. So if it's for me making dinner, or if it's me just telling him how handsome he is, or just doing something nice for him, like I want to be that person where if he having a bad day, I notice, I'm like, okay, he looks like he's thinking about something. I'm like, let me just hug him, and I'll do that. I'll walk over to him and just give him a hug. So my only desire is to bring him that peace, because I know he has a lot to deal with as a man. I know he does, because listen, he got a package deal, me and my son, and he has his children too. So it's not just me and my son anymore. It's not just me. It's, as a man, as a good man, he makes sure we're all good, So I want to, do the little things to make sure he's good.
Okay, Lafayette and Jessica, what are the core ingredients to the recipe of a relationship that leads to marriage?
Yeah, it's easy.
One of the things I noticed within this conversation that we have been having here, which has been amazing. But one of the things that I've noticed is the reassurance that he continues to give you in different places in your relationship, your life together, your family, work, all of those things. And those are core ingredients into the recipe of a relationship that is leading to marriage, because those are core values that you have to have inside of a marriage in order to maintain it. And I'm already praying y'all to the altar, and I'm praying you past the altar, and even beyond that. But I would like for you guys to share some core ingredients that are necessary for a Black woman and a Black man to have in a relationship in order to maintain it and to get to where you guys are.
Communicate.
Yeah.
Communicate. No secrets. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. It's like, if you want to spend the rest of your life with someone, you both made that commitment and that decision. Know that it's okay to be who you really are.
Yes.
We put on a facade, and we just, feel like we can't share certain things, and, hide certain. You don't have to do that. Communicate. Be vulnerable. Allow yourself to be open with that person.
Yeah. You got to leave and cleave. You really do have to do that. You have to separate the world, and it's 100% and 100%. And when we bring that together, that just makes us one. And then when we add the Lord inside of it, it's the third party. It's a triple braided cord. So if we understand it's the three of us, and we're working all in tandem, then nothing is going to be able. It's not easily broken. Let me say it just like that. So for us, it's more about, or what advice we can give is like, keep the world out, but keep us in. And if we can do that, if that can be our focus, if she makes me feel respected and I make her feel loved, and it's reciprocated, it's not conditional. Like, it is really unconditional. But when you communicate, like you said, and you keep God first, we keep the communication, we understand the highs and lows, and we're in this to win this, and we're going to be able to make it. So I think the advice that, not even the advice that we can give, the example that we are, is that you just have to understand, you got to communicate, you got to leave and cleave, you have to be on a mission and a focus and a purpose in life, and just keep the world out, and keep it simple, like understanding that life is easy. It's a small thing. We're going to figure it out, and it's going to get it done quick. And it's like, so one of the things she said earlier was like because I'm a fixer, I want to get in there and fix it. If Jessica, like, she somehow, some way, she's figured out, she changes her attitude when if I come in a house or we get together, and I pick up on that energy, and I can get into that. Like, I want to stay positive, I want to stay optimistic. But if we need to shift it and we need to get more focused, then we can do that. So it's understanding the ebbs and the flows. So it ebbs and it flows. If you ride that together, then you become this triple braided cord that's not easily broken. Yeah.
What is your biggest fear, along with what is your biggest excitement for your big day?
I'll do the excitement, since
Yeah, yeah.
The most exciting part is changing my last name. Period. But seriously, just walking in the aisle, like the exciting part is like we've been planning together, but he doesn't really know every little thing. So like the exciting part is like just not just myself, but him seeing like just the whole scenery, the ambiance, just everything. Like me walking down the aisle, like he doesn't know what my dress look like, he doesn't know how my makeup is gonna be, he doesn't even know how the venue is gonna look. He knows where it's gonna be, but as far as the details and
no, I get it. Yeah,
so I know he's gonna be pleased with that part. Yes. Like I want him to be surprised, like the guest is gonna be surprised.
Oh, so, that is beautiful.
But yeah, walking in the aisle, I told him I want his nose to bleed.
Just crying.
So hard.
Black Love is gonna be in the building. I'm gonna try to zoom in on that part.
Yeah, that's the exciting part because I know like he's gonna be so happy as I'm walking down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think our fear, our combined fear, is who's gonna show up that day, who's not gonna show up that day. So when you look at a guest list, who's gonna be there, who's not gonna be there. But the reality is that if the two of us are there, that's the only thing that matters. And we've contemplated multiple times, do we go to the courthouse and just do it? We really have thought about that. But this is something that, like, if we did that, we'd be letting the enemy win. Because our loved one that day is a representation of Black love. And we've made it to the ultimate. And people that are there want to be there. And the ones that don't make it weren't supposed to be there. And the ones that don't show up, it will make everybody that does show up even root for us and pull for us even more. Because there'll be some people that will not be there, some significant people, and they know who they are. And it will be very, very interesting to see who actually shows up that day. So I think that is it's a healthy fear, you know, and you know, what is fear? False evidence appearing real. So it's like if that day, if that fear really happens, it's false. It's not really real. It just appears that it's real. So we're willing to push beyond the pain and get outside of our comfort zone and show up that day, no matter who shows up. Yeah. Come if you want to come. Don't come if you don't want to come. It's all good because the two of us are there.
Still getting married.
Yeah, real talk.
So now the question is, if the two of you were on the show Survivor, who would survive? Now, statistics is saying that Jessica is strategic, both social and connected, calm under pressure, builds strong alliances, adaptable and resilient, versus Lafayette's physical strength, problem solver, leader, and protector. He's focused and determined, thrives in challenges. The most beautiful part in this story is that these two come together and become one, which means that her strengths are now his, and his are now hers, and together they win. But let's still ask them the question and see what they say.
Her.
Why you say me?
Swiss Army knife. That's a Swiss Army knife right there. Yeah, dynamic personality, can get down with the good, the bad, the ugly, and is willing to be resilient, which is a huge word this year. Resilient is a huge word. So yeah, my vote would be for you.
That means he's definitely like, you gonna eat the worms, babe. You gonna do everything. I can tell.
I'm going to jail for you. I'll take a charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does Black love mean to you?
So I believe that we are on a mission to help this city of Baltimore understand what love is again, because you don't see what we are and who we are on a day-to-day basis. Now, I don't even know what the statistics of it are, but you don't see this in a household growing up oftentimes. You know, you hear about it or you see it on TV, and it's not something that's emulated. It's not something that's even desired. It's something that's criticized. So I feel like Black love for us is something that we can help people to see that it exists. It is available to you if you want it. You got to do the work. And doing that work, you'll be able to experience a level of Black love that is only imaginable, but it's possible.
Yeah.
So I feel like Black love, it's a story that hasn't fully been told yet. And because we are who we are as Black individuals, um, and going through the struggle that we've gone to be where we are, it's not something that is oftentimes represented. So it's pain, but it's joy.
Yeah.
It's love, but it's hurt. It's this kind of hodgepodge of emotions. But overall, I think it's a beautiful thing. I think so. Yeah.
Why is Black love necessary in our Black communities?
It's necessary because we need it, and in our city, of course, we don't see a lot of this. I just see it between him and I. Not saying it don't exist, but our youth need to see more of this. We need to, break cycles. We gotta love more. What they did 50 years ago, it doesn't work for the life that we have now.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This couple has been so awesome, answering all of my questions today and allowing us to understand the foundation of their relationship. It is clear that God, love, dedication, compassion, consideration, and the desire to see each other be great are all ingredients to the recipe of their Black love, which makes an amazing and beautiful Black love story.
So first of all, Bianca, thank you for inviting us. We truly, truly believe in this process of love. We believe in Black love. We believe in what it could be if it's done at a very, very high level. And so, first of all, thank you for giving us this platform.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming and accepting this invitation.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So we just hope our love story can inspire other people to um, try to find out what Black love is. So thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Pearl and Excitement.
You can follow us on Pearl and Promise
There you go.
Talks on Instagram. And yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, 31 days. And we are looking forward to enjoying the rest of our lives with one another. So we'll bring you guys along the journey when the time is right. And hey, if we can do it, you can do it as well.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Thank you, Lafayette and Jessica, for being a part of our Black Love Baltimore journey and for sharing your Black love story. I pray that God covers you, protects you, and guides you every step of the way through your journey, and that He enhances and strengthens the bond between the both of you with every breath you take. Amen. Tonight's show is dedicated to Miss Tracy Howard, the mother of this beautiful queen, Jessica, and the mother through love to Lafayette. You are both blessed to have Miss Tracy watching over you, speak to God personally on your behalf, and be your personal guide through life from the other side. I know she is absolutely proud of you, Jessica, and excited for your big day. So be blessed in it. Tonight's show was sponsored by Puppy Obsessions, quality puppies and kittens raised with love. Over 15 years of experience breeding. Get yourself a puppy. Bianca Studios, a platform for multiple shows and podcast opportunities. Host your own podcast show right here in Bianca Studios. Queens of Transformation, declutter, organize, and decorate is what we do. With Bianca, Kamani, and Kyra, transform your space from messy to magnificent. The voice of children suffering in silence. Break their silence, be their voice, and change their future. Your story needs to be told. Turn your pain into power and allow it to fuel your purpose. When you tell your story, you not only become a voice for the voiceless, you become a voice for the child who suffers silently inside of you. Contact us today to be a guest and tell your story on the Voice of Children Suffering in Silence. Echoes of Love, honoring life, cherishing memories, personalized videos and tributes, and much more. We also have Echoes of Love photography and memorial services for pets. Blink Beauty Collective, enhance your beauty. Get those brows done. Nail by Smiley, nail art designer, beautiful nails, beautiful you. Butter the hairstylist, Butter Styles, where style meets confidence. Her hidden collection, versatile styles. Miss B's, beauty business empowerment built by me, for me to inspire you. All of these services are under one umbrella. Mine. This is a Bianca production. Executive producer, Bianca. Creative director, Bianca. Filmed by Bianca. Videography by Bianca. That's also filmed by. Okay, listen, I want to give myself more accolades. It's also been edited by Bianca. Special thanks to my faith in God and in me. And I'd also like to say thank you to my guests tonight, Mr. Lafayette and Jessica. Tell your love story. Couples are wanted for exclusive interviews to inspire, uplift, and celebrate Black love. Share your journey, showcase your love, sign up now. All you have to do is send us an email at blacklovebaltimore or give us a call. This is Bianca Studios, bringing necessary conversations and giving us space and opportunity for them to be heard. Make sure you are following us on all social media platforms. That's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Bianca Studios and Black Love Baltimore. Thanks for watching. Good night.